So this is about 5 weeks since the surgery, and I'm back up here at the shop. Kind of picking up where I left off before I went and had the double hernia surgery. I went and got a new vacuum advanced canister thing, and basically I'm going to connect this one back to there. And I made, because the other tube that ran to this one didn't have this end, I made a thing to make it work. Here's the old vacuum canister and the old tube. Well, the end that went into this was just this, and they had it in there with some gum around it, which that's not going to be good. So I come up with this because it's hard to find these little fittings, and this is brake line. Basically I just bubble ended this end so it'll go in there, and this is copper and nickel tubing, so it'll compress a little bit when I push it in there. And then I'm going to just stick a vacuum line on it, and the same with the end coming off the carburetor. So we eliminate all this bent tube mess, and we're going to go with this. Got it back together. Have this vacuum line running up to here. Now this thing hasn't been started, or haven't tried to start it in, gosh, probably about 6 weeks now. So we're gonna see how this does. I actually think the battery might be dead, so let me grab the keys and we're gonna try and turn this over. Got the battery connected. Probably have no gas up here in the carburetor. See the amount of smoke we got. Definitely burning off a little bit of oil, looks like, on the exhaust manifold. Actually, that's cracked, I think. Yeah, you look real close there, that's cracked. So after we ran the car the other day and we found the crack over there, we had a pretty good leak on the valve cover, so I decided to pull the valve cover off, and what I found was this push rod and this push rod. You notice they're new versus these. This one was bent and pushed down in there, or well, dropped down in there, and this one was just bent and laying over to the side. So I went over here to this side, pulled this valve cover, and we had one over here that was bent, which we fixed. Got new milling, but yeah, I mean, if you can see that, that's how bad they got bent. This one's pretty bad, because they're only like $16 a piece. And the new ones, if you can tell, are a lot beefier than the old ones. So you're not going to bend these, they're milling. I ran the engine again, everything's good. All the push rods stayed in place where they're supposed to. I let it warm up. It's running on all 8 cylinders now. And we went back through and readjusted all the valves, and all the valves, I'm just now putting it back together. We ordered a manifold off eBay, that came from South Dakota. They have rust. This took about a couple hours just to get the two pieces off. Show you over here what we took off. Was this piece broke in coming off, but it was literally molded to that bolt. Along with this, we had to cut these off, and these were brass bolts. We cut those off. They came off fairly easy, but none of this would come apart. We had to get a chisel in between it and pry it off, basically break it off. I am in the process of probably going to cut these. I've been working at them, trying to heat them up, and I think they're too rusted to come apart, at least the unthreading wise. So I'm going to take a cutoff wheel and cut those off smooth and just drill them. If you've been following along on this car, trying to wrap this up in this video kind of because I have other things that I want to move on to, trying to get this car done instead of continually going over every little thing, every little detail, unless y'all want me to. Leave some feedback on that. But I'm going to cut these off and we're going to get it put on that car. So what I did is I took a punch and center punched it. And now we're going to take a 1/4 inch drill bit and drill through this. I've already drilled that one. Okay, I'm moving up to a 3/8 drill bit. Okay, we got the old one taken off. As you can see, it was in way better shape as far as the bolts go. Got new gaskets this morning, so these can go. There's a new gasket set, and there is the 3/8 hole we drilled. Now I'm gonna have to flip it. I can't come in from the top side, but I can go in from the bottom side and lay a nut up here. We got the back bolt on. It slips, the manifold slips into it, so you set that on there and then lay the gasket up in there and start the front bolt. Now we got to go underneath and put the collector together. We got the new exhaust manifold to put on, collector bolted in. Now let's see how this starts up and runs and take it for a drive. Alright, got the breather on, let's close the hood and take our first spin. Alright, this is a column shift, back and down. His first gear. It's the first time this car has moved under its own power in about 30 years. Definitely a different feeling. We got drum brakes all the way around on this thing. She probably needs bushings, shocks, all kinds of stuff. For setting about 27 years, I'd say it's doing pretty good. Actually moving under our own power. The exhaust I put on is good. The timing's working right. I think it'll come around. The valves will start sealing a little better as it gets ran. So this might be the end of this one on this little project. We have some other projects lined up. We might end up having this car back to do bushings and ball joints and tie rods and stuff, but for now we're gonna call the guy. He's probably gonna come pick it up and we will get another one in the shop. So go down, hit the like and subscribe if you liked the videos on this one, and I will talk to y'all later.